You're sitting in a season you never asked for, a season where the people who promised to stay have quietly stepped back, where the connections you thought were solid have somehow dissolved, where conversations that used to flow naturally now feel forced, distant, or they've stopped altogether. And the hardest part isn't just the loneliness, it's the confusion. You're asking yourself what you did wrong, why everyone seems to be moving forward while you're standing still, why God would allow this kind of separation when all you've ever wanted is real, lasting love. You've prayed for clarity, you've asked for community, you've done everything you know to do, and yet, here you are, more alone than you've ever been. It feels like abandonment, it feels like rejection, and if you're honest, it feels like maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're too much, or not, and no, maybe you missed something, or said the wrong thing, or pushed too hard. So you replay every conversation, every moment, looking for the mistake that caused this. But what if this season isn't what you think it is? What if the separation you're experiencing isn't punishment but preparation? What if God is removing people, not because you're unworthy, but because He's making room for something you've been asking for your entire life? Here's what most people don't realize. Separation isn't always about loss. Sometimes, it's about alignment. God doesn't remove people from your life to hurt you, He removes them to protect you, to position you, to prepare you for the kind of love that won't just feel good in the moment, but will last for a lifetime. Think about it. You've been praying for real love, not surface-level connections, not relationships that look good but feel empty, not friendships that drain you, or romantic relationships that keep you confused. You've been asking God for something deep, authentic, and lasting. And God heard you. But here's the thing. Real love can't grow in crowded, chaotic, cluttered spaces. It requires clarity. It requires room. It requires that you become the person who can recognize it, receive it, and sustain it. This isn't punishment. It's preparation. God is separating you because He's about to introduce you to something sacred. And before He does, He needs to make sure you're ready, that you're healed, that you're aligned, that you're no longer tolerating what He never intended for you in the first place. Here's what's really happening in this season. God is removing distractions, disguised as connections. He's clearing out relationships that were taking up emotional space, but giving you nothing in return. He's pulling back people who are keeping you comfortable, but not helping you grow. Because real love doesn't come to comfort you, it comes to complete you. And before you can recognize a difference, God has to show you what real love is not. That friend who always needed you but was never there when you needed them. That wasn't real love. That relationship that kept you guessing, kept you anxious, kept you questioning your worth. That wasn't real love. Those connections that felt good in the moment but left you feeling empty afterward. Not real love. God is removing the counterfeits so you'll recognize the real thing when it arrives. And there's more. This separation isn't just about who's leaving. It's about who you're becoming in the process. When you learn to find your worth, your peace, and your identity in God, you stop looking for other people to fill spaces only He can occupy. And when you stop seeking validation from the wrong sources, you become ready for the right ones. So let's go deeper. Why does God use separation as a tool for preparation? Why can't He just bring the right people into your life without removing the wrong ones first? Because God knows something you're still learning. You queue and build something new on a broken foundation. And right now, He's not just clearing space. He's rebuilding you from the inside out. God is using this season to help you see the truth, so you do and repeat the same cycles with new people. Second, God is teaching you the difference between attachment and connection. Attachment says, I need you to feel complete. Connection says, I'm already whole, and I'm choosing to share that wholeness with you. Attachment is rooted in fear. Fear of being alone, fear of not being enough, fear of missing out. Connection is rooted in freedom, the freedom to love without desperation, to give without losing yourself, to walk away when something no longer serves your peace. God is separating you so you can learn to build connections, not attachments. Because real love doesn't cling, it doesn't control, it doesn't demand. It flows freely between two whole people who have chosen each other, not out of need, but out of genuine desire. Third, God is preparing you for a love that requires emotional and spiritual maturity. And maturity doesn't come from being around people who agree with you all the time, or who make things easy, or who never challenge you. It comes from sitting in the silence and learning to be okay there, from wrestling with your insecurities and coming out stronger, from realizing that you don't need external validation because you've found your identity in something unshakable. The person God is preparing for you isn't looking for someone to fix. They're looking for someone who has done the inner work, someone who knows who they are, someone who doesn't bring chaos into love, they bring peace. And this connects to something we'll explore in just a moment, but it's crucial. God is also using this season to remove your tolerance for mediocrity. You used to accept bread, you used to make excuses for people who didn't show up. You used to convince yourself that inconsistency was just someone else's love language, or that you were asking for too much. But God is breaking that mentality. He is showing you that you were never asking for too much. You were just asking the wrong people. And He's teaching you that when the right person shows up, love won't feel complicated. It won't feel confusing. It won't require you to shrink, beg, or chase. You'd bring your old patterns into a new relationship. You'd project your old pain onto a new person. You'd miss the very thing you've been praying for because you were unprepared to hold it. You're not broken. You're not being punished. You're not too difficult to love. You're being refined. You're being recalibrated. Being separated from everything that taught you to settle so you can step into everything God has been protecting for you. So what does this mean for you right now? It means this season has purpose. And trust that their exit is making room for something better. Second, use this time to fall in love with who you're becoming. This is your sacred season, the season where you discover what you actually enjoy, what actually brings you peace, what actually fills you up. You've spent so much time trying to be what other people needed that you forgot who you were before you started performing. God has given you the space to remember, to rediscover, to rebuild your identity on truth instead of approval. Third, start seeing this separation as sacred preparation. Every day you spend alone isn't wasted, it's an investment. You're learning to be whole without needing someone else to complete you. You're learning to set boundaries without guilt. You're relearning to recognize real love when it shows up because you've finally stopped settling for the counterfeit. And when that person arrives, the one God has been preparing for you, while He has been preparing you for them, you won't miss it. You won't question it. You'll know, because everything in you will finally feel aligned. You're not abandoned. You're appointed. You're not forgotten. You're being formed. And the love that's coming isn't going to look like anything you've experienced before. It's going to feel easy. It's going to feel safe. It's going to feel like coming home. But first, God had to separate you from everything that made you believe love was supposed to hurt. This season has purpose. Trust it. Trust Him. And trust that when the time is right, everything you've been waiting for will finally make sense.